All right, so just to go over this one just a little bit more, we have two separate functions. Dadgummit, my pencil's broken. All right, one from is going to be between 3 and 7, and it's a positive area of 20. I don't even know what it is, okay? So from 3, g of x is on a separate coordinate plane, and between 3 and 7, he has a negative area of -3. Okay, so this one is f of x, and this one is g of x. Can I add those two things together? Absolutely. What is 20 plus -3? So 20 plus -3 is going to give you 17. Okay, what is g of x? X is -3 minus, what is f of x? It's 20, so I get a -23. What if I double the size of, okay, so from 3 to 7, of g of x dx? Now, side note, what does the 2 do to a graph? It stretches or compresses. Okay, so it makes sense to double the area. So this part, I already know is -3. I need to double it. So that gives me a -6. And on this last one, what happens if I f of x? Well, 3 times 20 is 60. Okay, so I might want to backtrack because I kind of scooted through it really, really fast. All right, so what do we have? Draw a new picture because I don't know where I'm at. All right, f of x is 3, and it's a +8. Okay, so 0 to 3, I'm above the axis, it's a +8. Ignore all this trash. Okay, from 3 to 6, I'm on the same function. So from 3 to 6, I have a negative area, which means I'm under the axis, and it's -7. So what is my answer if I add everything? In other words, go from 0 to 6. Well, what is 8 plus -7? 8 plus -7 is 1. Okay. What if I go from 6 to 3? So invert this. Well, what did I learn on the last problem? Or a couple problems ago. Invert my limits of function, it just flips the sign. So instead of being from 3 to 6, I'm giving you a +7. Okay? What is your answer if you it's going to give you the evaluated 3? And then you subtract it, so it's going to give you 0. Limits of integration are the same. Your answer is 0. And on this one, I want to go from 3 to 6, but I want to multiply answer by -5. So go back to algebra. What does the negative do? It flips or across the x-axis, so all of this just came up to here and became positive, and then you're going to stretch it by 5. What is my answer? My original answer is -7, but I'm going to multiply it by -5, which means my answer is 35. So now we're going to do the last one in this section and be done with 4.3. Okay, so I want to look at this pretty picture, and I want to go ahead and fill in. This is the same, so that your numbers aren't going to be. If I look at my general shapes, I can find out what my different values is a triangle. What is the area of a triangle? The area of a triangle base times the height. So half of 2 is 1 times 1, 1. But you are the axis. So this is an area of -1. Okay. What is this area? Well, this is a semicircle. So how do I find the area of a semicircle? It would be pi r squared of it. What's your radius? You have pi times 2 pi's. I'm going to go with -1 pi, and this is a -1. 2 under the axis, so it's negative. And this is a pi, and this is a pi, which makes 2 pi's. All right, and then what is this area right here? We're going to go from 2 to, so my base 4, my height 2. So if my base is 4, and my height is 2, area of my rectangle is going to be half of 8, which is 4. Okay, so now I can start looking at this whole thing because we pretty much answered most of it. What is the area going from 0 to 2? So here, that area is -pi. That's the area under that curve. What is from 2 to 6? My area is 4. What is my area from -4 all the way over to 2? So I need to add there. So -1 plus pi plus -pi is going to be -1 minus 2 pi. It's a negative area, which just means I'm under the curve. What is all of the area? So the area from -4 to 6 is -1, a -pi, a -pi, 4. So when I add that 4 and -1 is and then I still have my negative 2. This one says I'm going to make positive. Okay, so instead of a negative 1, I'm going to have a positive 1. Instead of a negative pi, positive pi. Instead of a negative pi, I'm going to have a positive pi. Okay, and then instead of a positive 4, ooh, look, it's a positive 4. All right, so what is your answer? 5 plus a 2 pi. This one says I'm supposed to take picture up here. I'm supposed to pick it up and march it up 2 units. Okay, I have no desire to do that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to separate this thing out. So I've got from negative 4 to 6 of f of x dx plus 2 from the 4 to 6 dx. I already know what this part is because I found it in section D. So this is 3 minus 2 pi. Now I just got to do this one. Remember that this is a 1. Okay, so I'm going to integrate my and get an x. I'm going to multiply my answer by 2. So just like differentiation, I can bring that along for the ride. So I'm going to evaluate from negative 4 to 6. So top number first, 2 times 6 minus negative 4. So I end up with 6 minus 4 is 10. So this part is 20. This part of the function is going to be 23 minus 2 pi.